Well, fall is officially here and the cool weather is upon us. Hey everyone, Dave here with A Soccer Fan Walks Into a Bar. We've got the whole crew here to talk soccer awards, the Merseyside Derby, the MLS stretch run, and the jam-packed schedule for this weekend. So stick around. All right, guys, what is going on? Diego, first of all, welcome to the couch. Welcome to the single camera setup.
It's all right. It's all right. I finally broke down, but it's okay though.
He gave it.
I can't split. I can't lay down anymore.
I love this though, because now we're all on one camera. We're a little bit more zoomed out. We have, you can see more of our decorations from behind here. Give me 1 second. Let's just hide this for a little bit. You can see all our cool scars. Speaking of which, thank you, Jess, for the World Cup 2026
right here
scarf that we have right there. Sorry to the Reds, but we did have to move Liverpool off screen because of it.
It's all right.
But
you know how
it's okay. Neither
Liverpool.
Aaron nor I are bitter about Liverpool. So
it's okay.
Might have to turn me up.
You're a little low.
Just a little low.
All right, let's see. Let's do this on the fly.
Yeah.
Diego, tell me while I'm doing that, how was your weekend?
It was pretty good though. It was busy. There was a lot of matches, incredible freaking matches of soccer. The brewery was, busy as ever. So it was a good weekend at the end of the day. We got a good attendance actually for all the matches, which was a very, very positive. Were you here, Aaron, during the weekend? No.
Yeah. I was here for some of the games. Yeah.
Yeah, and you saw there was a big turnout. I think I need to be turned up a little bit too. You continue working over there. You continue doing the thing.
It's right. It's all new.
So. We'll take over the show.
How's that, guys?
That's better.
Perfect.
So it was an interesting weekend for soccer stages.
It was, and also today is the first day of fall, so happy fall to everyone.
Yep.
And in that honor, we are enjoying some Newburgh Oktoberfest.
Cheers,
guys. This brings me back to like the first couple shows we ever did when we were,
we were
getting after it.
Well, it's funny. I think this is also the first show in a while that we've all been wearing jeans.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes,
weather has changed. Well, plus the intro. I miss the intros, man. We haven't had an intro.
I know.
In the show,
we're adjusting on the fly here. We're figuring out what works, what doesn't work. But yeah, no, I am thrilled with the way this setup is working, and it's all thanks to you guys in our audience, and obviously, you two helping me out here with this.
Absolutely.
So let's get our names back up on the screen as well.
Yeah, you see, he's playing. He can't help himself. He's got to do all these motions and putting all these things because he's learning how to do it.
I know. It's like a fun new toy that we have.
Learn something new every day.
So yeah, dude, we have last weekend was I would say an average weekend in terms of just number and quality of games. But next weekend we were just talking about an absolute glut of big matches for our supporters clubs, and just our luck, almost all of them happen to be at the same exact time. So we're trying to manage that as well.
We'll get it done.
Yes, we will give the people what they want. More matches, more TVs, more sound.
Actually, shout out to the Bournemouth fan group. They showed up. From the very beginning of both matches, they've been bringing some people. So thank you very much,
and
guys.
We've seen a lot of people from Brighton as well.
Yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday for the Man City Arsenal game, we had a gentleman in the tap room from Brighton who is a season ticket holder for Brighton. But also because he has been there so long, and this is rather common in England when you're back then they were not in the Premier League. Yeah. So usually you support your local team, but you have a Premier League team.
Yeah.
He's also a season ticket holder for Arsenal.
Oh wow!
So he was here watching Man City Arsenal. He drove up from Jersey City to come check out the game.
Well, shout out to you, my friend. Whatever you
and he was showing me pictures. His two sons were at the game with his Arsenal ticket.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it was. I texted Mike. I'm like, dude, there's a Brighton guy here. It was really cool. We were chatting about the similarities of Brighton and Bournemouth in terms of where they are, their model, what what we're looking forward to from both of those clubs. They are two of the more exciting clubs in Europe right now. You know,
to be 100%. That is actually true. Bournemouth has been getting so much press and so much good comments that there has been what do you say, an uptick in upshift in fandom when it comes to that team. And I mean, they're doing it the long way, slowly but surely building up. No crazy.
Listen, five match weeks through, and Bournemouth is in 4th place.
Yeah.
And again, every team can say this, but you know, that Liverpool match, maybe a bit of a stretch, but could have been a draw.
Yeah, I mean, all of the Liverpool matches.
The match on the weekend against Newcastle. I mean, Newcastle came to park the bus, which it is what it is. You know, they played midweek in Champions League. They're still trying to figure life without Alexander Isak out. But you know, the way I took it was, you know, and we'll talk about it more as we, you know, let's just start right there. Let's go right to Bournemouth Newcastle. Scoreless draw, not much action.
No.
You know, I look at it from 2 lenses. One, it's very complimentary that a Champions League team is coming to Bournemouth and knowing, okay, we got to sit in here and
you got to wait it out.
Yeah,
absolutely.
By the same token, though, and this is something I've said for years now about the U.S. national team.
Yeah.
How do we break that down? You know, the U.S. team struggles mightily with teams that park the bus, and Bournemouth did as well.
That's always been the reality.
And that's why teams park the bus. So it is tough to break down. But can Bournemouth figure out something to unlock that defense?
It's I personally think it's a process. You gotta get
without a doubt.
First of all, as a team, you gotta know that you can do this. You gotta do it a couple of times, you know, prior, whether it is by accident or whether it is by a genius play of a random player. But that's what you need in those type of situations. And we talked about this over and over with Bournemouth and these teams that are, you know, having a longer process acquiring way bigger talent. You just need a talented player that is going to break those, you know, that is an individuality type of game.
And we have that with, you know, not consistently, but you have that sometimes with Evan Nielsen, with Semenyo, with a Kluivert, with, you know, Tavernier sometimes, David Brooks. Like they have that in them. It's just, can you rely on it when it's needed?
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. You can you know,
but that's also the difference between, you know, a Man City who can drop 100 million on Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
Or Arsenal on Gyökeres, or, you know, again, it's been a mixed bag so far, but a Man United on Cunha, Sesko, you know,
that is the other side of the coin. You can throw money at a problem, but the problem is not going to go away. Like I said, it's a team situation right now. They are playing well.
Yeah.
They have a very, very, very sound team. Again, they just need that one person to say, I am the best. I am going to put the team on my back at one point or another, and does it reliably. Semenyo
I do think Semenyo has that in his bag. It's just a matter of consistency
need to develop
for him.
it. Exactly. So it's going to take time, and the problem again is the economics of soccer.
Yes.
You know, Semenyo starts doing that on a steady basis, somebody's going to come out and pick him up.
Well, and that's a conversation we've had, Arsenal included, to be completely honest. You know, you have, you know, I would say Man City, you have Liverpool, Bayern Munich, Madrid, Barcelona. Outside of that, the entire world is a selling club. Yeah. Let's face it. You know, that's where the economy of soccer is right now. You know, even you look at a Man United who just spent a boatload of money, but they also, you know, in the last couple of years have gotten rid of McTominay. They've gotten rid of good, bad, or indifferent. They got rid of Onana in goal. Yeah. You know, they're getting rid of all these guys. Garnacho, Anthony, Rashford. You know, they're getting rid of all these guys because these players want to experience more, and they're not happy with what, you know. So, you know, realistically, we're all selling clubs. Yeah. You know, Arsenal, I would say, you know, is probably kind of right on the cusp there of where, you know, that line is.
Yeah,
but
this was the most they've spent.
But, you know, you look at, you know, and we've talked about this several times on the show. You look at Bournemouth's back four and goalkeeper from last year. Kepa's at Arsenal.
Yep.
Granted, as a backup, but Kepa's at Arsenal. Kirkej went to Liverpool. Zabarny went to PSG.
Yep.
Dean Howson went to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And that is
I'm probably the biggest Bournemouth fan in the greater Hudson Valley area. When those teams come calling, you're picking up the phone.
Absolutely.
10 times out of 10. Let's be honest.
Well, again, it's a process. It's right now the way I look at it with the regulations that the league has. You have to make a ton of money for a sustained number of years, so you can start knocking at the door of that threshold. So that's what I'm saying. It's a process. You're gonna struggle for, let's say, the next 5 to 6 years.
Yeah.
But 10 years from now, if you keep that steady progress, if you keep, like Bournemouth is doing, keeping 10th and up every single year, you get good players, you sell good players, you increase that revenue, In a little while, you will. The problem is, how long can a coach or how long can a fan base?
Well, that's my biggest worry is can we keep Iraola?
That's what it is. It's not necessarily the whole player situation. Is you need to keep a system where everybody that comes in buys in quickly, understands it quickly, and it's very established. Ferguson days. Let's go back to Ferguson. Like if Iraola can stay in Bournemouth for 10 years, that would be incredible. I don't know. What do you think, Aaron? Arsenal Arsenal is one of the steadiest teams when it comes to things like that.
Well, because again, Arteta kind of held Wenger's outlook on it in the fact that you build your players off of quality you can get from other areas, right?
Yeah.
They were never one to be like, let's go out and buy. They've tried. Right? Yeah. There's always the stories of they're going to go out and buy Hazard when he was
big.
Not
to hijack the conversation, but that's always been hilarious to me from Wenger. Is all these stories that always come out like, oh yeah, I could have signed Messi here, and here. I could have signed Ronaldo, and I'm like.
Yeah. Well, Ibrahimovic actually said in an interview, he said he went to Arsenal, and the moment that Wenger, when he said, "Oh, it's all about me," Wenger said, "Go, you can leave." I don't want you.
But to me, like with Wenger, like that's not a flex. You missed out on all these guys.
But during Wenger's time, Arsenal did see a lot of success, and
Grant,
again, he did after they built the stadium. He saw a downpour of like having to again build the players back up.
You know what? You say that with as good of the quality of players they had, is that era a success? They won 2 leagues and a bunch of domestic cups, which is great. Yeah. But teams at that caliber,
I think it was 3 leagues. I think they won 3 on.
But teams of that caliber, what are they looking to win?
Champions.
They're looking to.
But that's the thing.
I mean, they made it to one final.
But if we go there,
that whole era. I don't know how. Again, you have your Arsenal glasses on, so it's a totally different lens.
Think about this from a baseball point of view, right? The Yankees are supposed to be super good, right?
Oh no,
why haven't they won since 2009?
No, and I am fully aware.
It's the same.
I've had this exact conversation on the other side of it. Like, there's only so many trophies out there.
Correct.
Yeah. And Champions League, maybe more than anything, while you need a good squad, it takes some luck and some bounce.
Compared to like basketball, the Knicks are supposed to be the mecca of basketball, right? New York's supposed to be the mecca.
Yeah.
When was the last time the Knicks won anything?
1973.
So there you go, right? Yeah. So technically Arsenal has a more newer win than they have. So it's the same thing. Like, you can root for any team, but that's the thing is like Arsenal, at least again, in a situation in which you get relegated or you stay up top, have stayed in the top 10 and in the Premier League.
Yep.
They've never been relegated.
Yep.
Them and I think Everton, right? Everton.
I believe that's right.
And the thing with the situation with the Champions League is that if winning it signifies success, the only really successful team in the past 15 years is Real Madrid.
Or Barcelona.
If we go there,
Madrid,
Barcelona, Madrid, and maybe a Germany.
I mean, think about Chelsea was winning all the Champions League, but they didn't win.
Chelsea won a couple. Bayern won, I think, 2.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to go back just beyond that 15-year mark.
Yeah.
If you go back 20, 25 years, AC Milan won 2 in 5 years.
Yeah.
And lost in a third final to Liverpool.
So that's kind of like what we always talk about, success can be relative because, like you said, there's so many treasures, so many championships, trophies.
It's not in their philosophy.
Yeah.
Arsenal's philosophy is not to go out and buy the best people.
No,
they would
get
like to get a good person to fit in, but their philosophy is to take quality players and make them better.
And actually, that's something I want to talk. Don't let me forget. I want to talk about that when we cover Arsenal later today.
So going back to Bournemouth and the development, Brighton and their development, they got to make tons of money soon, and they got to develop
Brighton.
It that way.
Brighton makes tons of money.
Yeah.
If you ask most of the Brighton fan base, especially now that they're seeing what Bournemouth is doing, because Bournemouth made a ton of money over the winter, over the last summer.
They're getting a new stadium too, right?
But Bournemouth is spending money too.
Correct.
Brighton is a little bit tighter on the purse strings.
Yeah.
And most Brighton fans that I've talked to, at least, obviously that's a very anecdotal group. Making the money is fine. You have to balance the books, obviously, but let's start spending some of this money that we're making.
Well, remember what Tottenham did a decade and a half ago or so. You know what I mean? They were just like that. They were just cheap, and they would not buy anybody, and they would try to scrape by with talent that they found out. Scouting for them was like the most important thing that they
scout.
Really. So now they made enough money, and again, this is a 4-year.
And they got
cycle league.
And they got a new stadium as well.
So now eventually they became affluent enough when it comes to the regulations. Again, it's all about those regulations, about how much the league allows you to spend. And
with PSR.
I think
so because of that, they have to be cheap. They have to be cheap so they can get to that level. And then in 1 year, they can say, all right, now we're at this point. We're not going to get penalized. We can't afford to buy 2 or 3 of the best players in the world. I mean, I think that's Brian's goal. Bournemouth's goal is a little more steady. Yeah, like you said, they invest every year so they can climb up. And every time they climb up, they get a little more money because they get into a new tournament.
And I feel like they also don't want to start dropping back down.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
A lot of these teams like Brighton, like Bournemouth, like Fulham, they've been in the top for a while. They would like to stay in the top. And now you're seeing it with like Wolves, who was in the top for a while. Now they're starting to.
Yeah. Well, speaking of teams that are spending money, let's talk about the Merseyside Derby. This one was hosted at Anfield by Liverpool against Everton. The 220th or 15th, I think, time that they've played one another. And just quick side note regarding the spending, both Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak on the bench. So right there is about $230 million worth of transfer fees.
I also
sitting on the bench.
You also got to remember, so I read an article that Ekitike just came in for $60 million.
Yeah.
And they interviewed him and was like, hey, how do you feel going on the bench now that they have Isaac essentially? And he's like, I don't care, like whatever.
And he handled that right. And actually, I was listening to a radio show this morning, and it was about kind of like, Isak's got to realize that Ekitike was there first. It may have only been by a couple of weeks, but if Ugo Ekitike is on the field and scoring goals,
he's not going anywhere.
Isak can get in maybe in cup matches, maybe the odd Champions League, or when they're after Champions League, if they have a quick turnaround to a game. That might be his time to shine and make a much tougher job for Arne Slot.
Yeah.
But if Ekitike was the guy and he's scoring goals, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
No, but that's the thing. I mean, the difference with Arsenal and these players being in any other team, and when it comes to being relegated to the bench, is that that the player that's taking your place, it's just as good as you are. And again, we all say, and we've been saying here, that every player has to believe in themselves and bet on themselves, but there are realities that they gotta accept once they get to a team.
I mean, again, there's reasons why you see bench players go to other teams.
Right.
They want.
It's also they seem to have a good thing going with guys like Virgil and Alisson. Excuse me, Alisson. Leading the group and making sure everyone's in the right frame of mind. But let's get to on the field. A 10th minute goal from Ryan Gravenberch. A 29th minute goal from the aforementioned Ugo Ekitike. In an absolute downpour, by the way, it was teeming with rain. Idrissa Gueye brought things back in the 58th minute, and it started to look like Everton might have turned the screw to them, but too little, too late.
Yeah.
Grealish was not able to get the job done, to help out Everton there. So Liverpool maintained their 100% record atop the table, 5 wins on the bounce.
And I feel like throwing a little curse upon them right now.
Yeah.
Their schedule looks really easy for the next 5 or 6 matches, to be honest with you.
Let's see.
It's not that bad, even if it is Chelsea. I mean,
so
Chelsea, Man U.
They tomorrow they have Southampton in the Carabao Cup.
Well, not but that don't count.
They travel to Palace, but so I agree in what you're saying on that front, but 5 matches now. So they played. Let's see.
They actually had the harder matches already. To my belief.
They played on Sunday, September 14th at Burnley. Then they had Champions League on the 17th. Then hosting Everton on the 20th. Yep. Now, tomorrow, the 23rd, they are hosting Southampton in the Cup.
Sorry, 3 days.
And then they're playing at Palace on the 27th.
4 days later.
And now at Galatasaray in Turkey on the 30th, and then
3 days later,
and then at Chelsea Saturday, October 4th, before the international break. So, I agree. It's a different competition, and it should be separate.
But it's still a game that's played,
and it's a slog for them. You get some nicks, some dings. It also, from a coaching standpoint, regardless of player fitness. Well, I shouldn't say regardless of player fitness, but you have day after a match. Realistically, you're not doing much. It's a recovery session. You're icing up. You're getting treatment. You're maybe doing some walkthrough stuff, but you're mostly just recovering. The day before a match, you're mostly doing walkthrough stuff. So, Arne Slot is losing a lot of pivotal time where he can tweak things, especially knowing that Florian Wirtz just came in, Ekitike just came in, Isak just came in, Kirkes just came in, and they have a lot of new faces that they're trying to.
Yeah, but it's not like these teams are going to be any danger. To be realistic about it,
I mean,
they're not going to park the bus like we just talked about.
So listen, this is going to be the best part for them to try and tweak things.
Yeah,
these games are the best time to see what works in
life.
This Southampton game, it's going to be a throwaway game.
Yeah, but so they go to Palace and Chelsea, 5th and 6th place in the league right now.
Yeah, after 5 games. Well, you're looking at 2 wins between the both of them.
Yeah.
Right, there's only what 4 teams that have had 3 or more wins in the 5.
Okay, so Palace already beat Liverpool in the Community Shield. Again,
they did.
Community Shield.
No, 100%.
But these are quality teams that they're going to be facing.
Yeah.
On a short calendar. I might be making a mountain out of a molehill.
Yeah.
It's very well possible, but I don't think you can underestimate. And a trip to Turkey in Galatasaray.
I think my issue is it's Liverpool. I think all eyes are on Liverpool because they've been sitting on the top, and everybody likes to tweak every little thing with them, and they like to nitpick and say, "Hey, why do they get 7 minutes as opposed to 3?" Again, this whole game, right? The game that we're talking about, you got to feel for Everton.
Oh yeah,
you got to feel for Everton. At the end, they started getting chippy. Like they started getting mad. They started getting chippy, and they're like, "How come Liverpool gets plus 8 minutes and we get plus 3? There was 3 goals in the match. Where's our time?"
Yeah. No, it definitely was brought up a lot in a lot of the radio shows that I have been watching and listening to the last couple of days.
So that's the thing. Yeah, Liverpool is already set on their ways. The tweaking is not necessarily on the strategy. The tweaking is, can the player that I'm going to put in here do the job that I want them to do? Again, a culture, a strategy. Like they are already set on what they're doing. They're not adapting to a team. The team that's playing Liverpool right now is the one that is adapting to their style of play.
Yeah, listen, I don't think Liverpool has I don't think Liverpool has a problem with anybody they play because we're at the point where they got a new coach, they played fine.
Oh yeah,
they've got new players, they're playing fine.
Yeah,
I don't like. You got to think that it's going to fall apart somewhere, right? Again, they're making.
I wouldn't say fall apart, but there has to be
a tie somewhere,
a run of form where it's going to be.
It'll bite them in the butt.
Maybe it's a 4 or 5 game run where they get 2 draws and a loss.
Well, again, this is the first time their winning goal didn't come
in the 80th minute
or plus.
So yeah, no, I agree. Overall, it was a good match for the neutral.
Yeah.
Merseyside Derby obviously always brings out, the
Speaking of a team that's getting a little bit of help.
Yeah. So yeah, let's move over to another traditional big match that we had. Man United Chelsea, a 5th-minute red card from goalkeeper Robert Sanchez. Just in my eyes, a very poor decision from Sanchez.
Oh my God. I'll take the goal any day.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny. Well, so goals scored in the 14th minute by Bruno, and then the 37th minute by Casemiro, and then inexplicably a second yellow card from Casemiro, which really, could have been disastrous for them.
Yeah.
Trevor Chalobah wound up getting one late in the 80th minute. And despite all the changes that Enzo Maresca was forced to make with that early red card, Chelsea did have a couple runs. I mean, you look at possession was almost 60% for Chelsea.
No, it was a reality. Chelsea had the win. It just a dumb mistake at the beginning of the game. It screws everything up. It's
I don't want to say funny, but I was listening to Tony Meola and Brian Dunseth this morning, and Dunny is a Man United fan. And he obviously, you take the 3 points, but he's like, with Amorim and some of these changes that they were going to make, which he did make, he's like, I didn't learn anything.
Nope.
Because 5 minutes into the match,
again, I thought
the whole game has been turned on its head.
Yeah, I thought this was going to be Amorim's last match, and he got a win out of it. And it's like,
we talked about it last week.
Now what?
And we talked about it last week. I said, Amorim needs 6 points out of the next 3 matches to keep his job, in my opinion. Here's 3 here.
I mean, red card helps.
But does this match now no longer factor in that kind of decision-making process?
It does, because points are points.
No, you gotta win.
That's all you can say. Now,
a win's a win.
Exactly. Now, if the next 2 matches are normal matches and he loses both of them, then we go back to what you said. Yeah. 3 points, whether they count or not. I mean, because mistakes are mistakes, and if you don't capitalize on them, then you're still any better.
Being a man up for, let's call it a half.
Yeah.
And then even strength 10v10 for the rest of the match.
Yeah.
United still only managed 4 shots on target. It's not like they were this dominating and 41% possession. Like
they did hold Chelsea to 1.
Yes. They
did hold Chelsea to 1.
If you look at
did they park the bus?
They were playing I think a 4-2-3-1. As soon as the red card happened, Neto and Estevao, the two wingers for Chelsea, were off. And then I think also in the first half, I got to see when the exact moment was. Let me see if I can find it. Cole Palmer came off very early.
Yeah.
So I want to see if I can find when that sub was.
No, that's the thing. I mean, the whole game changed. What else are you going to do when you lose your goalie on minute 5? And you got to try to scramble around.
Palmer came off in the 21st minute. So, 3 of your 4 attackers are now off the field that you started the game with. So, and again, I totally understand when you get a red card that early, you have to change some things, but you would expect a little bit more dominance from United with those changes, and it just wasn't there. It wasn't inspiring. Not that an 11v10 match, even for a portion of it, should be inspiring, but you'd like to see some dominance with that man advantage
to show that they can clean up games.
Yeah, exactly. It's not necessarily.
At no point in the game did they feel like they were comfortable.
And that was the thing. So I was on my. For those of you that don't know in the audience, I'm running a marathon next month. So I had my long 20-mile run, plenty of time to listen to radio shows. And when Dunny first said that, I kind of laughed. But then the more he was talking about it, and I was thinking about it, I'm like, shit, you didn't learn anything from United in what should have been a pivotal match against a top 5 team.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, we didn't learn anything because it just reassured what we knew about Manchester United.
Amorim set in his ways.
Set in his ways. He just didn't inspire.
Inspiring
can be if you see that the team reacts and dominates.
Yeah, I don't know if either of you saw this comment, but he said something to the effect of I'm playing a 3-4-3. I don't care if the Pope asks me to play a different formation.
Exactly.
This is what I'm playing. So I thought that was a little bit humorous.
Yeah, that's the reality, and that's the thing with Amarin. He's just not gonna change. He's gonna play what he plays, and it reminds me of Ferguson a little bit, except Ferguson was successful.
Successful, yeah.
Exactly.
You can't change what's working.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Amarin needs to change what's not working.
Amarin needs to actually adapt something else to this culture because they are the team that is used to consistency. If any team was used to being one way and one way only, was Manchester United.
Yeah,
but it was a successful recipe. Right now, you can't set on your ways. Right now, you gotta experiment. You gotta switch. You gotta try to find a way to lift the spirits and actually change the culture. That's what they really need to do at the end of the day. It's a cultural change. It's a philosophy.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's been an issue, when Moyes was there, when Louis van Gaal was there, when Mourinho was there. Solskjaer, in my opinion, started to get things right. I think one of his issues was, he wasn't, that firm voice.
Was he the one that had the issue with Ronaldo?
No, that was
Ten
Hag, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ten Hag. No,
I don't think Ronaldo was there yet when Solskjaer was there, but.
Okay.
But Solskjaer was just a Ferguson student, you know what I mean? So he just wasn't him.
That's the United DNA.
Yeah, Arteta is a banger one.
Yeah,
I mean, technically he did work with Pep Guardiola,
but yeah. Speaking of, that's a perfect segue. I don't even know if you did that on purpose, but talking about Arteta and Pep, let's run right over Arsenal, Man City, the Sunday night over there, Sunday morning for us. Capstone, if you will, of the Premier League weekend at the Emirates. Arsenal won, Man City won. It was a really weird match for a few reasons. Obviously, Erling Haaland scored in the 9th minute on a typical Erling Haaland type goal. And then a second half sub, Gab Martinelli, with a 93rd minute incredible finish. I mean, it was a great ball into him.
That's it with the great assist.
Great lofted ball over the goalkeeper. And I heard a couple pundits say, maybe Donnarumma should have stayed home versus coming out. I don't fault him for that. I think sometimes you just tip your cap to the forward and give him the credit.
And that's what you need to do in this goal. That was un golazo.
Yes.
That's what we like to say.
For me, that was a point gained from Arsenal more than a point gained for Man City. I think Man City has to feel that they lost 2 points there where they needed points to climb the table.
You saw it from Arsenal last year. It was the exact same game. Yeah. Arsenal were up 2-1. They parked the bus. Man City scored.
It
felt like a win for Man City.
Yeah.
People, I just don't get the hate that everybody puts on Arsenal. It's like, they're celebrating a point. It's like, yes, because
it was a good point.
Man City's their boogeyman.
Yeah.
And Man City was who they were aspiring to be for 3 freaking years. Like that's what they needed to be. 4 years.
Also, speaking of which, this was the lowest. Again,
lowest goal.
You can skew any stat you want whenever you want. This was the lowest percentage of possession in the Man City era under Pep Guardiola.
Well, you also got to
second only to Man City at Arsenal 3 years ago.
Because again, this was the first time you've seen Pep park the bus against Arsenal. They put the one up. They put 9 guys in the box. 9 guys in the box. There's pictures all over the place.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And it's just one of those things that, like, yes, Arsenal will be happy to take the point, but
I mean, Man City only only registered 5 shots.
Yeah, I am proud of what they did. Again, you've allowed 2 goals in 5 games.
Yeah,
you've allowed 2 goals in 7 games total played this year. I remember, but that's the thing is that Arsenal's defense are real.
Yep.
However, we need to again convert the other side.
But no, you see, I know you're the fan and you are way more well versed when it comes to this than me, but the results that weren't happening before are happening now. This would have been a loss against Man City.
Correct.
They wouldn't have been able to figure it out. The park bus.
Correct.
A couple games ago, it was a difficult victory, but they managed to acquire and to get that victory.
Let's build off that Aaron, I want to ask you a question.
Yep.
You
did say that there was something you wanted to mention.
Oh, what was? Oh, so Gyökeres.
Yeah.
Gyökeres didn't do much, in my opinion. Obviously, yes, they parked the bus, this, that. And again, this was Tony and Dunny talking this morning on my run. And their conversation led me to kind of think that Victor Gyökeres might be, as talented as he is he the proverbial square peg in Arsenal's round hole?
I think the issue
is he a good fit for Arsenal and Arteta's system?
Again, in Arteta's system, no. Yeah. Because Arteta wants the false nine. He wants the Spain. He wants all of my players doing the same thing. Gyökeres is a pure scorer.
Yeah. Yep. No,
and if you don't feed him the ball, he won't get chances. Now let me put it to you this way. I have a feeling that this season it's going to be the higher games. He's going to disappear.
Yeah,
because that's where Arteta is going to try to put the balls on the side. They're going to try to put it into the center, more towards this, the center defensive mids coming up and the headers, the pieces.
I think
in the lower games, you're going to see him more active because again, he's got 3 goals in 5 games in the Premier League.
Yep.
If you said anybody else about that, people would be like, "Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we'll take it.
3 goals in 5 games, cool." But because all eyes are on him, 3 goals in 5 games is not enough.
Yeah, and I don't even think it's just the price point. I think it's also just the all summer long saga that went on with Sporting.
Yeah. It's not just the summer. You got to understand that Arsenal have been looking for a striker since Aubameyang left with issues, not leaving on his own terms good.
Right.
It was the issues that Arteta had with him, showing up late, being as arrogant as he was, because again, that's not Arteta's system.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. They have not had a striker. They tried to bring in Jesus.
Yeah.
They brought in Jesus and Zinchenko to try to bring in a championship mentality. And they did. Right. And that's when Arsenal started taking second. But then they started realizing that they're not going to get us over that.
They're not going to put us over the hump. Yeah.
So again, they went out and they got Saliba.
Yeah.
They have Gabriel, Lewis Skelly. Like they have all these great things in the back.
So now here's one thing that I'm thinking. Perfect. Yeah, defense is great. But one thing I'm thinking, maybe Gyökeres is going to be that guy that is just going to create a scheme problem for the opposing teams. You come out with him. Let's say Arteta one day, a couple of weeks from now says, all right, this is what we're going to do, my guy. In the lower games, we're going to give you the ball all the time. You're going to be the 9. You're going to be our 9. In the difficult games, you'll be our 9. You attract defense, act as a decoy. Mm-hmm. If it doesn't work out, we'll take you out and we keep doing what we've been doing in the last couple of games.
Yeah, that was his first full game, by the way.
Yeah,
I think what needs to happen for Gyökeres and Arsenal to be successful is, and so far they've done fairly well, but I think they need to find that next gear.
Yeah,
Madueke
is injured.
Well,
ACL
we'll cover that later, but guys like Madueke and Eze need to
feed him the ball.
Not just that, but they need to play better.
Yeah.
So you can't just defensively key on Gyökeres because he's not the kind of guy that you're going to play a 40-yard ball into, and he's going to outrun 3 players and
that's Martinelli's job.
Score a world,
as you saw. Yeah. That's Martinelli's job. That's the winger's job.
Yep, and that's what I was talking about right now.
But when you have Eze and Madueke or maybe now Martinelli more, out on the wing, or who knows, maybe Marino gets some time out there.
Listen, we saw it with Havertz. People absolutely. Pardon my French for lack of a better word, but they absolutely shit on Havertz when he got purchased.
Yep.
And then look what he did. He put up 16 goals.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not a forward. He wasn't a forward.
No.
Didn't remember, but he got put in that position. I think again, I think we'll see it against the lower teams. He'll play very well. Against the higher teams, the problem is that again, it doesn't fit well into Arteta's vision against the higher teams.
Yeah,
because Arteta wants to go more defensively, more on the wing.
All right, my last question for you, Aaron, our resident Arsenal fan here. 5 matches in, seeing what you've seen, knowing what you know, are they a title contender this year with seeing what you've seen from Liverpool as well?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Again. Solely on what I've seen and their defense playing the way it is, I think they're title contenders.
Okay.
I don't think, again, Liverpool has allowed a lot of goals. they've shown that they have to leave it late.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. Where where do you sit on the balance of they have to run out of luck at some point versus this is just that aura that they have? Like I don't care what minute in the match we're in.
I think teams are coming in. I think teams are coming in against Arsenal, and they're realizing that if we can score one on them, we have to then park the ball.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. All Arsenals are going to allow is one goal. They're going to allow one goal.
That's it.
And then they're going to tighten up, and that's the issue. Once they tighten up,
it's all over.
It's a fight for a draw.
All right, we can talk Arsenal Liverpool for until the cows come home, and we probably will the rest of the year, because as far as I see, City rather, may start to climb the table. Spurs looks pretty good. I do think they kind of level off a little bit. Nothing would make me happier than to see a Bournemouth appearance, much like a Leicester City. No, dude. But realistically, I do think this is a 2-horse race, and by 2-horse I mean 1.5. I personally don't think Arsenal has what it takes this year. Obviously we'll see how the season progresses.
I don't know. My biggest issue with Liverpool is that it's this. You see it in all sports. When you're on top, everything goes your way.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But they had to get to there.
Yeah.
That is very true. They had to fight their way up.
All right, let's take a quick break there. We're gonna skip over some of the other European stuff. I want to jump into MLS, and then like I said, we have a jam-packed week with incredible matches. We have league games, we have cup games, we have the whole gamut. So let's take a break there, and we'll be back with more soccer, guys. Cheers. Welcome back. So. We're all busy refreshing our glasses here. I ran 20 miles today. I deserve a couple beers. Give me a break.
He's got bloating right now. Don't even worry about it. Yeah, he's
might have to change the break to a minute.
Yeah, we might have to.
This is fun.
We'll get rid of the countdown thing. We'll just have someone pouring a beer.
There you go. There you go. You got this many
seconds. All mics muted.
You know what? Speaking of which, that reminds me, and I'm sure you guys are all in the same boat. Maybe not so much you. Your daughter's a little bit older. I think you guys all know this. So I think we've chatted about it a little bit on the show over the months and years. Between the three of us, we have 5 daughters, no sons.
All women.
But I was talking to my oldest, who's now 9, about commercials and they have no idea.
No, they don't exist.
I said, you couldn't pause TV. You had to run to the bathroom, get a bag of popcorn or whatever it was, and be back before the show.
Commercials were the best thing on television because of that. It gave you time to do things and you didn't have to miss anything.
Well, that's the funny thing to me. Like now for the Super Bowl, like everyone's kind of disappointed with the commercials lately. I'm like, but that's because you never used to. You don't watch commercials anymore. You don't know what they're about.
You maybe listen to them.
Well, let's put it to you this way: the only reason people watch the Super Bowl is for the commercials now.
Exactly. It's so weird. And you know what? The one thing that with back in the day, and we are dating yourself, it was the relevance of a jingle. A jingle, because all these kids nowadays, State Farm and
what was the
Allstate and all that stuff.
You can't say that stuff. We're not sponsored.
What was the what was the movie where like all the famous songs in the future were all jingles?
Yep.
Stallone.
Total Recall. No. I was
the future one where they like unfreeze them in the future.
Demolition Man.
Demolition
Man. I'm not a movie person in the least.
Yeah. The Jolly Green Giant.
So maybe one day when our streaming and podcast hits the big time, we'll actually have our own commercials.
We'll hit you up with some jingles. Don't worry, I'll make some jingles.
Let's get to 100 miles to home. This is our coverage for professional teams in the greater Hudson Valley area. A lot of NYCFC and Red Bull coverage. We have some other professional clubs coming into the mix. Westchester SC obviously had played this year. Maybe some Cosmos stuff when they come into the league next year. So we got some things in the pipeline, but NYCFC had a double match week. They were home both games against Columbus Crew on Wednesday, and then Charlotte, who has been red hot for the last couple months, unbeaten, I think, in their last 9 or 10 matches on the weekend. And NYCFC won both matches, 3-2 over Columbus and 2-0 over Charlotte. And they are positioning themselves incredibly well right now for this stretch run. Let me bring up the standings so we can take a look.
They're playing well. It's something you want to see going into the playoffs, especially in that form, especially playing against, like you said, Charlotte and all those. And it positions them really well going into the playoffs. Because again, weren't these must wins a while ago?
Yeah, literally. Yeah. I feel like it was 2 or 3 weeks ago we were talking about NYCFC and Red Bull,
and they went from 8th to 4th,
maybe being in that 8-9 playing game. And now, with one match played less than everyone ahead of them, NYCFC sits in 4th place on 30 matches played.
Red Bull is a little bit more in a tougher position.
They're in the 10th spot right now.
So so NYCFC is in 4th on 53 points. They have, like I said, a match in hand, but Philly on 30. All these teams have 31 played except for NYCFC. And Philly on 60, Cincy on 58, and Charlotte, who they just beat, also on 53.
So if they take a win, they jump.
Yeah, they're right there. Obviously, Inter Miami is behind them on 52, but they've played 2 less matches. But, and I will be there, NYCFC hosts Miami on Wednesday at Citi Field. So that'll be a good one to watch. And then Red Bull got a 2-0 victory in Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a match that they absolutely needed.
Definitely
and again, they still need some help. Red Bulls sit after 31 matches played on 43 points in 10th place. So ninth place, which is the last playoff spot, is right now Chicago with 30 matches played on 45. So they're 2 points behind, and they've already played an extra game.
Correct.
So, you wonder about all that. I believe every team below New England, below Red Bull, starting with New England, has been eliminated from the playoffs.
How many games does
34. It's a 34 regular.
So 3 games remaining, essentially, for Red Bull.
For Red Bull. So, and also for New England. So New England has a possible 9 points left. Yeah, so they can only get to 41. So Red Bull. So right now there's 9.
Chicago Red Bull. That's it.
There's 9 playoff spots for 10 teams. Mm-hmm. Let's just call it that. I think realistically, Nashville and Columbus are in. I can't imagine they drop that many points and everyone else plays out of their mind. So it's really Chicago and Red Bull for that last spot. And I think they have like a 15-year streak of making the playoffs. Do Red Bulls. So
yeah. No, this is the time. We talked about it every single year around this month, even before Aaron came around. You got to get hot at the right time.
We talked about this for years now. This was one of our first things last year even. Is it's almost like the hockey playoffs. Just get hot at the right time. Good goalkeeper, good goal scorer can drag you to a final.
Well, what happened?
As long as they win their next 3, put it in the hands of Chicago.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
force them to get nervous.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah, exactly. Funny enough, that's what happened last year. They barely made it, and both of them ended up in the conference finals. So
yeah, and Red Bull made the MLS finals. So
yeah.
Obviously, we have the Hudson River Derby coming up. So that is, I believe, Red Bull's next match. Yep. And then Cincinnati and Columbus.
That is a tough.
So 3 teams ahead of them. It's not going to be easy. Obviously, the Hudson River Derby match against NYCFC. Full disclosure, I am a season ticket holder for NYCFC. It's never going to be an easy match for either side. It's going to be a knockdown, drag out kind of match. And I think I looked the other day. I don't think it's mathematically possible for NYCFC to
be out of the playoff.
No, to knock out Red Bull.
Oh, okay.
NYCFC actually, with their win on Saturday, I believe clinched the playoffs. So they're in no matter what.
Maybe they gotta help out the fellow city team.
No, they're not gonna. They're not gonna help out a damn thing.
I don't think so. They have a chance to jump third, which will put them in a better playoff spot.
Yeah.
So
home field advantage and everything.
So it's been a tough stretch run for Red Bull. I mean, we talked about it even when the season started. They've been kind of up and down all over the place, which is the nature of a soccer season.
I mean, you see it a lot in U.S. sports where like a team that's been hot for so long and so much, and then all of a sudden they miss one or two, and it's like what happened.
They won the East last year, so full credit to them for that. But you kind of saw it for a number of years toward the end of Arsene Wenger's run, when being top four in Arsenal's situation is considered a success. There's not as much of a drive to win the league. It's okay, let's just make top four. Similarly with Red Bull, they have this long streak of just making the playoffs. So it's not necessarily let's try to win the East.
I don't know. I mean,
let's just get into the playoffs, keep that going, and again, it's playoff soccer. You never know what can happen.
I mean, the other issue
has that complacency. Sorry to interrupt you, Aaron. Has that complacency been a factor in putting them where they are now? Where they're on the outside looking in.
My question is, who has the most losses in the MLS finals?
Most losses in MLS finals.
Would Red Bull be up there?
No. My guess would be New England Revolution.
Okay.
And we can look that up. I'm sure I can find it.
No. Trivia. Let's put it on chat. But nonetheless, New York is New York, and the market is the market. And I mean, even before Metro Stars and all these New York teams.
I'm gonna go with New England. They lost like 2 or 3 in a row. Let's see results by team.
Well, they have consecutive cup finals.
Yeah, not necessarily most.
They had 3 straight losses.
But no,
LA Galaxy have lost 4. New England Revolution lost 5.
Okay,
it's kind of like, but that's kind of like the thing. Again,
yeah, there you go.
It's not necessarily about losing
Red
and winning.
Bull
lost 2. Yeah. Okay, but they've been there twice and they've lost both.
Yeah, and they've won supporter shields. I get it.
That's my issue with the Red Bulls. Is the Red Bulls are always there. They're always in the playoffs. They've made the finals twice, and then
they don't
cross the finish line.
Exactly.
That's my main issue with the Red Bulls.
Yeah. No. I mean, you're not wrong. But New England is 0 for 5 in their finals.
I'm not saying it's just the Red Bulls. I mean, in all honesty, all New York teams feel this way. I think it's because, again, New York always has their eyes on them. They're the mecca of sports.
Hey, how about some credit for me for knowing New England Revolution lost the most finals?
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Just a little bit.
Listen, here's the thing: is you got to get there though. But they have been there 5 times and lost all 5 times.
Yeah. I think 2 in a row. I think was it a rematch with Houston? Let's see.
They lost 3 in a row.
Yeah.
2005, 2006, 2007.
And were 2 of them were Houston Dynamo back to back.
Yep.
And the one thing that is not even
there's the one I remember the most.
It's not even soccer related, but when it comes to New York as a market, it's an expectation that you have to be in that postseason at least, just because as a business, if you don't make that, you get crucified by all the fans, no matter what it is, no matter what the sport, even if it is hockey, baseball, basketball, now soccer.
Yeah. Not only did they lose 3 in a row, they lost 4 in 6 years.
Yeah.
Well, that was that dominant decade that the New England Revolution
Taylor
had.
Twellman was on that squad.
They had an amazing team.
Yeah.
I think Clint Dempsey was probably there at that point before he went to Fulham.
He was.
Man.
I don't know much about MLS. Let me be 100% honest.
We'll make it happen.
But I do remember the early 2000s and the late.
We gotta learn you some MLS.
Yeah, I remember old school, man. I'm an old man.
We know.
My soccer knowledge kind of ended in 2005. But I'm learning. I'm learning now.
Old school MLS had a lot of Colombians.
That's why I know about it. You know me.
I know.
I'm a Colombian fan.
I think this was one of our first shows ever. We were talking about Pitufo.
Yeah.
Anthony de Avila.
Pipa de Avila. Oh, man. The Metro Stars
those Metro Stars teams. I could probably name 3/4 of that squad still from that 96 team.
Exactly.
Before my NYCFC season tickets. I grew up in the mid '90s going to MetroStars games at Old Giant Stadium.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was the thing growing up that I knew about.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like you said, the early 2000s.
That was De Avila. That was Tab Ramos, Tony Miola, Roberto Donadoni, Giovanni Savarese, Peter Vermes, like all these guys. It was just
players wanted to play in New York.
Yeah,
because it was the mecca.
Actually, Tab Ramos was the first player signed to the MLS.
Yep.
Back in the day.
And
I think that was in like '95, and then he went on loan maybe in Mexico until they started the season.
It's just one of the reasons why I kind of feel for Red Bull and stuff like that. It's just that like they always have a limelight on them. They've always been they've always topped the East. They've always made it to the playoffs. They've made it to the finals twice, and they're becoming. This just popped in my head. I was going to say they've become, for an American sports analogy, they've become like almost like a Detroit Lions, where like they are an original franchise. Well, I mean, wrong. I mean, the Lions haven't been in the playoffs in a while. The Lions haven't been in the playoffs in a while.
The Lions have been doing good lately.
Let me say,
I'm trying to think of an original franchise.
Packers.
Old. No, Packers.
Green Bay Packers. 2 Super Bowls. One with, we're talking about after the origin. The Metro Stars did well.
Think of it as the Mets.
The Metro Stars were
good. They never made a final.
Compare them to the Mets.
Well, but they were good.
The Mets is not a bad shot.
I feel like the Red Bull in terms of your teams is the Mets.
The more I think about it, the Mets is not a bad shout. Obviously,
they always look good. They get the people.
Also, but
they look good. They get the people. They make it to the playoffs. People think it's going to go well, and then something happens.
And you have the Mets Yankees dynamic, where you also have the Red Bull NYCFC dynamic. That's a good shout.
And it does help that NYCFC plays in the Yankee Stadium. But I do feel like the NYCFC has the Yankee feel to it.
Guys watching and listening to this, and gals, for the record, I just say guys collectively as gender neutral for me. But guys in that are watching and listening, comment in the on the YouTube video here. Name an American franchise that makes you think of the Red Bulls.
The Red Bulls.
What's the best American franchise analogy to the Red Bulls?
All right.
Mets is not a bad shout.
Homework, yeah.
Let's see if the audience can find someone
the Giants
better. I want reasons why. Don't just
the Packers.
Yeah. I still with the Packers.
All right.
Stay strong.
So let's go to what's on tap. This is a
let me see.
Massive.
I need a paper for.
I know. I need. Look, we went onto the back of the sheet for.
Oh, we do.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, I know.
There's one for the road.
Yes. So we have Carabao Cup this week. We have Coppa Italia this week, and then on the weekend, obviously, the rest of it. And there's a midweek La Liga match day.
I'm here for it.
So, all right. So let's just cover some of these matches. Tuesday, we have and I only picked some of the matches that have Premier League versus other Premier League or Championship teams. So you have Wolves Everton and Liverpool Southampton on Tuesday.
Yep.
Easy peasy.
Also on Tuesday in Coppa Italia, red hot AC Milan face Lecce.
That's gonna be a very
milk?
easy. Yeah, they face the milk.
They face milk.
Not to be confused with Parma, which is Parmalat milk.
Parmalat milk, indeed.
Then
funny thing, we use Parmalat in Colombia.
Yeah,
that's a brand of milk that we use over there.
Well, so when the Parmalat company went bankrupt, is when Parma had all their problems. That's when they sold Thuram, Buffon, and
everybody pretty much.
Fabio Cannavaro. They were all in that same side together.
Yeah,
and they won a UEFA Cup before they got dismantled. Anyway, moving on. Wednesday, we will be here in the tap room for Huddersfield Town against Man City in the Carabao Cup. Thursday, we have, like I said, we have that midweek La Liga.
Oviedo, Barcelona.
Oviedo and Barcelona.
It's also game night.
It is also game night.
I will be here for that.
If you're here in the tap room or local to Newburgh, come bring, whether it's card games, board games, Warhammer, Magic. Aaron, fill me in on some of the other
card games. We'll have Bingo. Bingo's going to be on the tables as well.
We are tentative to have a D&D starter campaign.
There is going to be a meetup for D&D session 0.
So I don't know, to be fully honest, I don't know how that Venn diagram goes with D&D and our soccer audience. But listen, if you're a soccer fan and D&D fan,
soccer fans are closeted nerds. You never know.
Sometimes they're not so closeted nerds.
It's the age of the geek, man.
It is.
All these things intertwined with everything right now, and that's what I love about this. But yes, Thursday game night, and we're gonna have some Spaniard soccer. So
yes,
please come over.
All right, and then we're taking Friday off because we need it before Saturday morning. I'm just gonna rattle these off.
Rattle them.
So obviously we will have the Pour Over, our Saturday morning show, live on Twitch at probably around 8-ish.
8. Yep.
And then immediately following that, we will switch over to Bundesliga action, 9:30 a.m. Mainz against Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund off of their midweek 4-4 barn burner against Juve, and then a 1-0 victory on the weekend as they look to kind of keep pressure on Bayern Munich. Then at 10 a.m., we have Leeds-Bournemouth. Chelsea against Brighton, or which I like to call Brighton North against Brighton. And Man City against Burnley. Then also at 10:15, we have the Madrid Derby.
Must watch.
Yeah. I mean, that will, I think we can call it now. That'll be one of our predictions for the weekend, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then, I didn't even put it on the sheet here. But again, like I said, we have Saturday night is the Hudson River Derby.
Oh yeah, Red Bull City.
Andy,
You know what? We can't even show that one.
I don't know what do we have.
I don't think we have anything.
We don't have any part. Just a band.
That's Friday.
It's just a band, so we should be good. Emo is on Friday.
So obviously we cannot do sound because of our live music, but we will make every effort to get the Apple TV working and moving. And then Sunday, you got Newcastle Arsenal. Mm-hmm. Should be a good one. Again, Newcastle trying to figure out life without Alexander Isak. They are back at home this week.
Arsenal trying to figure out life with Yokers.
Yeah. and without Madueke.
Yeah.
You know what?
Saka's back.
Back. You know what?
He played a little bit at the end of the Man City game.
It's good to see him. Again, it's good to be in that spot where
one person goes
down.
That's something else that you and I chatted about a little bit in Discord with Pear. Who is to blame for all these injuries?
I looked it up, and in honesty, over the last 5 years, Arsenal's actually in 10th when it comes to injuries.
Okay, so
over the last 2 years, they do have the most.
Okay,
over the last 2 years.
So could it be a product of just almost like confirmation bias, where like Arsenal obviously is closer to you, so it feels like anytime there's an injury, it's like, oh shit, it's Arsenal again.
Because we're also pointing it out.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I think my biggest thing is that I think it's also the grind. Right? Again, Arsenal have been going at this for 5 years.
Yeah.
I think it's starting to take a toll.
Yeah.
And I think that the method of training takes a toll, but it is.
I mean, because we talked about it. Is it their medical staff? Is it Arteta? Is it the player?
Because it always seems to be the same players too, right? It always seems to Odegaard, Saka, Havertz. Jesus.
I read several books about it, and it was world famous in the late 90s, early 2000s, or most of the 90s and the 2000s of, it was the Milan lab.
Yeah.
And their doctors had these tests that were able to kind of like predict your health
throughout your career. How you manage stress, how your body and your bones.
And for whatever reason, however it worked, like Milan players were able to play into older age without major injuries.
So that's what I was
and you're looking at Maldini, you're looking at Costa Curta, Baresi, Carlo Ancelotti, you're looking at, and then they started getting rid of the lab. Or I shouldn't say getting rid of, but not putting as much money into the lab. And then you bring in guys like Kaká, who is an absolute world beater.
Injured all the time.
And then he
injured
his injury.
That's funny that you mentioned that because I was literally going to talk about that exact thing. Yeah. I actually think it's the medical stuff. I actually think it's the scientific and if you look,
most of the injuries, at least from my non-Arsenal perspective, are relatively newer transfers coming in over the last, Odegaard, Madueke now,
Saka always gets injured.
So is it something that the doctors are missing? And some people are just prone to injuries. That happens.
It could also be that teams play harder against them, right? Like, there was 2 years ago, there was an entire article out on how Saka gets beat to shit and nobody covers him. Like nobody protects him. And
obviously you also have to factor in the type of injury. Is it a torn ACL or is it a concussion or a broken arm or
it always you know what I mean? Like knees, it always used to be the knees.
That's what I was gonna say.
And then is it also
which makes you think it's something in training because they're pushing them so hard. Their legs are getting
exactly.
That's what I think. I mean, I don't know. I sum it up to be a bit of both, right? My eyes are always going to be on them. But my other issue is just that when my eyes are on other teams and other sports, maybe one or two.
But here's the thing. 20. Us, maybe not professional soccer players, maybe not professional athletes, but we practice sports at a semi-competitive level at some point in our life. 20 plus years ago, I got to admit it, so I'm a little more out of
my last competitive match would have been,
Yeah, exactly. Let's not talk about
20,
it.
Mine was 20 years ago.
Mine was before the 2000s, so let's not go there. But
2009.
We know that there is a difference.
Fall of 06 was my last competitive match.
Dude, I would. Y2K hasn't.
Mine was 2009, and I actually injured my knee. I actually got taken out.
Y2K hadn't happened when my last competitive match happened. Man. So let's not go there. Stop it, people. No. Stop aging me. But no,
you did this to yourself.
We know this, that we as players, we're gonna play through a ton of things. So it's on the professionals to advise us and to actually sometimes force us.
Oh yeah, that's not just soccer. You have to protect these players from themselves.
I mean, the only thing that you don't see in soccer that you see in other ones is that when a good player goes down in other ones, it tends to affect the season pretty harshly. In soccer, at least you have the person that steps up and like, okay, yes, they are missing a goal scorer, but there's somebody 9 other players.
So the thing is, exactly, and like you said, and like we're talking about, those knee injuries, those ankle injuries is just pushing yourself too much at a place that you shouldn't. Because, a contact injury, it's one thing. You got a tackle, you got hit in the knee, you got hit in the hips, whatever.
The other thing is that it's also Arsenal. Like I'm not going to just say the last 5 years with Arteta, because there was also several players in the Wenger aspect that they were there for 7 years. They only played like games.
And that's what I'm saying.
What is going on? Why is this player?
But I think that's also because that happens all the time. Yeah. It's just you're an Arsenal fan, you key on it more. I mean, you look at Bournemouth, and for
Tyler Adams?
That's exactly where I was going. Yeah. Tyler Adams signed, and I've spoken to several people that are very knowledgeable on Premier League and in and around the Premier League. Yeah. And they swear that Leeds was not totally upfront and honest with them about the severity of his hamstring, back, whatever it was. That's neither here nor there. But the point is, obviously as a local, and an American, we know what Tyler Adams is capable of. Yeah. The general Bournemouth fan doesn't know. So they think he's just this guy collecting a paycheck. Yeah. He played, I think, 35 minutes in his entire first year with Bournemouth. Yeah. And the Boo Birds were out. It finally now, even last year, there was, it was slow to embrace him, and because it's like, all right, shit, when he's gonna get hurt again? Like,
there's always the expectation.
He missed this game for Bournemouth, and now he's playing for the U.S. national team. What's that about? There was always that, and again, I'm pretty close to the Adams circle. Talk about someone that needs to be held back, to his own, and that's him. So like these guys, point being, like, you have your Arsenal glasses on, so you might see it more. You could have your Atletico Nacional glasses on, and you're going to see those injuries more. I have my, whether it's NYCFC or Bournemouth or whoever, like we all kind of key on
this situation,
what we're looking at, and maybe that's a bigger factor of it as well.
I don't know. I'll let you know, instead of letting you know when there's an injury, I'm going to let you know when there's a game without one. Because again, there was literally an article that said this last international break is the first international break in 5 years. Arsenal did have someone come back without an injury. Yep. 5 years. And imagine how many international.
And I see Odegaard is still kind of dealing with some of his shoulder stuff, even though he's been playing on and off a little bit here and there. But anyway, let's finish what's on tap. Closing out Sunday, we have Barcelona hosting Real Sociedad.
Yes.
So easy. I literally half of our outline sheet is just the matches we have going on. Which it's a great problem to have. Like, this is one of the things, and it's funny because all the guys upstairs are other bartenders are like, dude, when does the season stop? Like, why? Like, every time this is a big match, this is a bit, like, they're all big. I'm like, no, this is how it works.
Well, when you're watching 6 or 7 different leagues, every game is going to be a big game.
I know.
At least one is going to be going on.
And I'm here for it. Absolutely. Every step of the way. All right, one for the road. What have you guys got? Anything? I had one, and then we have some more breaking news from today, so I want to cover that. But Aaron, what do you got?
3 hat tricks in a row, right? From LAFC. Is that what I read?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it was Son and whoever their leading scorer
So this stat dropped on again with Tony and Dunny when I was listening this morning. The last 14 goals for LAFC have been scored by 2 players.
Yeah, baby.
Yes.
6 goals for Son Heung-min and 8 for Denny Bouanga. Denny Bouanga also became, I believe, the first player in MLS history with 3 consecutive 20-goal seasons.
Yep.
Nice.
We're going back to 96.
Wow.
I think they're in a prime spot for this playoff.
100%. 100%.
And that was something else that they said. I don't care about records. I don't care about where they are in the standings.
Yeah.
I would be hard pressed if you told me you think LAFC is going to win the title this year.
I'll say yes.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
Yep. Yeah. So funny. How did they start the year and how are they coming up over here? You know what I mean?
Well, it's all, you have the Heung-min Son effect.
Yeah, exactly. That's the difference
they got rid of.
That's the difference that a great, selfish, humble player does.
They have a lot of North London connections. They got rid of Giroud.
Yeah, no, but this is a different level of thing.
Playing pretty well
he's
for
lighting
Milan,
it up in France.
Yeah, exactly. No problem. That they got rid of who got rid of. They brought somebody in that is a difference maker.
Yeah.
And now I actually cement my argument about who's going to be bigger long term, if Messi or Son. I'm still standing on Son.
I mean, listen, I still think Messi is bigger from a global standpoint, but in the LA market, I think
in the US market.
No.
Oh yeah, man.
No.
So there is also word that Messi is going to sign a new contract with the MLS.
Yes. I also saw apparently Sergio Busquets is going to be retiring at the end of the MLS season. But I think Son is perfect in his market. I don't think he is a national superstar in the US in the way that Messi is.
So this is I know we're not.
You know when we'll find out.
I know we're not in Texas,
we will
but
find
this is
out,
the show me country, bro.
We will find out
what you can
next year.
We're not talking,
when the ticket prices come out.
Yep.
And who's more expensive? Okay.
Or is there that big jump for LAFC games?
So here's my statement.
Because you go to Chicago. Sorry to interrupt you again,
you're good.
But
talk too much, man.
No, you're good.
Tell my wife.
No, I talk too much about Arsenal. It's fine.
There has been instances where I think Chicago, off the top of my head, last season, where Messi did not play, and Chicago was giving refunds.
Yeah.
So if Heung-min Son or Son Heung-min is to that level, and they're doing that kind of stuff, then I'll buy into what you're saying. Again, Son has been incredible for the MLS and even more so incredible for the LA market.
Yeah, 100%.
It is a perfect storm for them to be in.
No, you're
go on.
I mean, listen, I'm gonna get hated for it, so it's a good thing we put it off. I think as of right now, Son is a better player than Messi. In the US.
Yeah, I mean he's 7 years younger.
It doesn't matter. With all the applauses and everything that Messi had to come to the MLS, he really hasn't put on a show that he was supposed to.
And this is the show me country.
I think you're underselling what Messi has done just because he's been so incredible for so long. In my opinion.
No.
I'm not a Messi stan.
Listen,
I'm obviously not a Miami fan.
Again, I told you I was going to get hated for it. I don't really think that he should have came to the MLS. It's at that point where, like, yes, it's nice to see him, but again, it's just another star player that's at the end of his career that's looking for the big hurrah at the end.
Well, here we go. So I just punched up Messi's stats. Last year, in 22 matches, he had 21 goals, 11 assists.
That's pretty good. Yeah, and he had 22 in
this
16.
year. So far, 22 matches, 22 goals, 10 assists.
Nice.
So again, we all look back to the year he scored 91 goals and won a World Cup and this and that.
I mean, 20 goals is still pretty good.
Let me be 100% with you on that one personally. I don't even remember those years, to be honest. I'm talking about
how old are you? You're forgetful. Huh?
He's remembering when he's like 16.
There are things that affect my short-term memory that are involved. So let's not even go there.
Definitely can't talk about those on Twitch and YouTube.
Go there. But in the past 2 years, what I can know now, the goals have been there. The things have been there, but the effect is more economical than
without a doubt
than soccer wise, because
I think
created a dream team.
No,
let's face it.
The other thing,
won
and I said this. You don't think Son Heung-min, the first thought was economical? Yes, he's a good player. Do you think the first thought for bringing him in was on field?
I think it was more of a team situation.
For him, yes.
For him.
It was more the team. The team went for the money.
Yes.
Tottenham said yes. You're offering us a buttload of money for him. Let him go there.
But I mean, so
he goes wherever he's sent. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
He's one of those players that's like, listen, I'm here to play soccer.
I think
I agree. I'm saying from LAFC standpoint.
My other issue too is it's Miami, right? It's Inter Miami and MLS. I don't see it as much as I see the Premier League, as I see La Liga, as I see Serie A. Again, MLS is on late at night. I don't really have it on unless it's maybe.
There's also a huge barrier to entry because who has Apple TV Plus?
Yeah.
I have it because it's included in my season ticket package.
So when you told me he's got 22 goals today, I got to admit I'm surprised. I didn't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know. So now he's proven me wrong that he is putting up goals still. But it's one of those things that it's like I have to hear about it through Googling it, not through how well he's playing the MLS.
No, and to me that was one of the big issues with the Apple TV deal. Yeah, I mean, yes, they got, I believe it was 10 years, $1.5 billion.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So that money goes a long way.
Again, exactly.
I don't know what their goals were for subscriptions versus what they have actually brought in. That's well above my pay grade. But
this also surprises me though too, because like Inter Miami, where are they in the standings? Like, he's doing well.
They're in 5th, but they are 2 to 3 matches behind everyone because of their other.
No. Yeah, that's fine.
It's just interesting. He's playing well. Suarez is probably playing well. Why are they? Is it their defense?
No,
did they spend all the money on? Did they spend all the money on their forwards?
Well, even their defenders don't defend. They have, you have Jordi Alba.
This is a dream team. So the thing is, they lost last year to the 8th seed.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, they did win the League's Cup or whatever it was.
But they should have swept. They should have won absolutely everything they played on.
But that's my point of view, right? That's why I said I'll get hated, because in my point of view, he should be winning everything.
Yeah, everything.
No, you're not wrong. Yeah. That's the expectation when you are Leo Messi.
Yeah. But then again, now that you see Son coming in, it's really incredible to see how LAFC has changed
Right.
Just from him coming.
Yes, exactly.
All right, let's move around a little bit. I have 2 for the road.
2 for the road.
My first one, Milan beat Udinese 3-0. Christian Pulisic, 2 goals and an assist, but his 2 goals put him past Clint Dempsey for the most goals ever for an American in Europe's Big 5 leagues.
Let's go.
So that's for him. That's between Dortmund, Chelsea, and now Milan. Dempsey played at Tottenham and Fulham. So as
a mid.
Right? He wasn't a striker, right? Mid. No, yeah, he definitely wasn't a striker. But Pulisic plays out wide.
Donovan, I think, was the striker. Right?
Yeah, and Donovan, he was at Leverkusen for a little bit.
Everton.
He played at Everton.
I think Everton was where his big step was.
He had a stretch run. I don't know if he ever actually played in a match for them, but he did train with Bayern Munich for a little bit. Honestly, I'm trying to think.
Who's the only other one that would have got up close? McBride,
I think,
before Fulham as well.
Roy Wegerle. I'm going back now. I'm going way back to
my age.
Roy Wegerle was that was probably 90 and 94 World Cup.
Dust off the VHSs, right?
I'm trying to think of who else you would have had.
He was one of our victimizers in USA '94. Man, that's
Let me see if I can bring up the article and see who else.
Yeah, it's just. Because my thing with Pulisic is we hear about all the good he's doing and stuff like that, and I just wish it could translate to the USA team. I just wish it could translate.
Style of play.
No, I mean it's coming. So my other one for the road, obviously this just broke probably an hour or 2 ago. Ousmane Dembele of PSG has won the Ballon d'Or on the heels of a treble with PSG.
Very nice.
First of all, obviously, no Messi, Ronaldo in the conversation. Which
it's about time.
As it's kind of bittersweet.
Like you said, it's
because it makes you feel old.
Yeah.
But it's the end of an era. It's a new dawn of Dembele, of Lamine Yamal, of Mbappe, of Vinny Jr., Erling Haaland, of maybe Gyökeres gets in.
Yeah. Well,
so you have this void now that everyone is looking to fill.
Exactly. And I think that is amazing.
I love I'm here for it.
I am totally happy for that because it's been too many years of 2 players basically running away with the thing.
It's like the LeBron era is going.
I was going to say I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know 100%. How much you guys are into tennis at all, but
it's like
we just finished the era of Federer, Nadal, Djokovic.
Yeah, that's it. That was the 3 of them.
And now, I mean, obviously, Djokovic, I think, is still playing at a pretty high level, but he's not where he was. Federer and Nadal have retired.
Well, the LeBron era.
Yeah.
The LeBron era, the Kobe era, the Jordan era. Those are gone.
But that was one person. I'm talking about, Magic Bird.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But
it makes sense. Yeah. I mean, I had Iris and Kobe, but it makes sense. When you have the 2 people fighting for the top spot, it makes it a little bit more interesting than just saying
historically. I honestly,
exactly.
I'm trying to think because even Bird and Magic, I don't feel like it was as long and just the 2 of them at the top as I don't think there's
Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi. We're talking about 20 plus.
I know that's what I mean.
We've been talking about that since they were 15.
Yeah,
I don't think there is. I don't think there's an analogy to
35 years,
that
40 years
mentality. That situation.
25 years, 25, 30 years. Because they're 40s. They're in their 40s, right? So we've been talking about it since 15, 25 to 30 years.
They are probably 39 and 37, if I had to guess, something like that.
So we've been talking to them for at least 20 years. 2 decades worth of soccer.
Yeah. And yes, there has been people that maybe get somewhere near them. And some of us as fans were like, but the reality was there was no competition before them.
Look at the guys that are arguably top 15 strikers of all time that nobody even really, I shouldn't say nobody talks about, but Ibrahimovic, Luis Suarez, Robert Lewandowski. Mm-hmm. That's maybe even top 10, not even top 15. That's maybe 3 of the top 10. Karim Benzema. You have these guys that are.
Who was the Swedish player? The Swedish forward that was.
Ibrahimovic?
No, the other guy.
No, that was the other guy. I can't remember him. It's past my time.
From when?
I'm trying to think.
With Arsenal, you had Freddie Lundberg.
No.
You had Gunnar Nordhall, like way back when he played for AC Milan.
No. I think this is within the last 10, 12 years. But again, like you said, the fact that we cannot remember these names on the top of our heads means and speaks testament.
Ibrahimovic has over 500 goals.
Yep.
And again, he's got that aura, but like he's not looked at in that light because of Messi, Ronaldo.
Exactly.
I'm off. I might be off on country.
I think you are, because the only Swedish forwards I can think of are Lundberg, Ibra, and now Isak.
Every single player in many countries. You have a couple Belgian players. You have a bunch of Eastern European players that could have been the best in the world. They
Shevchenko?
No, Shevchenko's Ukrainian.
That's what it was.
I mean, as
his
a Milan guy,
era,
he was incredible, but and he was kind of on his tail end when Messi, Ronaldo were coming up, but he had a much shorter height. And then he went to Chelsea under Roman Abramovich and didn't really translate too well.
Are you talking about like current players that are still playing today that were in their era, or are you talking about players that
in general,
his contemporaries that have been incredible?
I mean, look at the years Henry had.
Yeah.
And he was runner up to both of them. Runner up to both of them like multiple times.
Yeah. And we all know that in the English Premier League, he is.
I mean, for me, Thierry Henry is the best Premier League player of all time.
Yeah. So those are the things, so now that we have a beautiful mix of 5, 6, 7 different players competing
and
for
different styles. And
it's beautiful.
That's the other thing that we talked about is we're also out of that era of the beautiful football.
Yeah.
We're more into team play and tactics and all that kind of systems. And we're out of the single player with the ball at their feet being able to make magic happen. Yeah. And that's where I think Ronaldo and Messi will leave us.
Well, on that note, speaking of records, we are closing in on 90 minutes for this episode, which is again.
It was all what's on tap.
I was going to say, if you think this is bad, wait till next week when we have to talk about all these games. But anyway, that's going to do it for us tonight, guys. Thank you so much for hanging in there and staying with us as long as you did.
I do like this show, though.
Yeah, I'm loving it. Here, let's. You know what? For our closing, let's get rid of our names. We gotta keep advertising our other accounts, but please give us a like and follow and subscribe on YouTube. Reach out to us on Instagram. Jump into our Discord. Obviously our Twitch account as well, which we do our Saturday morning shows live on, as well as some live. I wouldn't call it a watch party, but we comment on games as they're happening.
The goal is to make it a watch party.
Yes.
Yes. Or a what do they call it? The post match. Pre-match,
post match. We'll do it all. But thank you guys again so much for being a part of this. Facebook as well, and obviously our YouTube accounts. Reach out to us any way you can. Yeah. If you want to just send us an email, cdunewberg@gmail.com. And our website, www.cdunewberg.com. So thank you again so much. Yep, it's all on the banner there. Well done, Aaron.
He's the pro right now. He's the pro. I'll take it.
So, yeah.
The other way.
Naz and Diego, thank you again so much for hanging out with me tonight. And we will see you Saturday morning live on Twitch on the pour over, or up in the tap room for our many watch parties that we have this weekend, or right back here Monday night / Tuesday morning on the YouTube when we post this. So thanks again, guys. Cheers and be well.